Okay, good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. We're going to start the eggplant Parmesan. I have a 9x13 and I'm going to grease it. Now the reason we grease some pans and other ones we don't is if the ingredient that's going in, the ingredients, if they're a lot of liquid or if they sit there and they have a lot of fat in them, you don't have to grease the pan, but we grease the pans because they're hard to clean. So that's why they tell you to grease, so that'll actually protect it and it's easier to clean your pans. That's why women greased all the time. Even if they did a roast or something, they will grease the pan because we had to use a lot of elbow grease to get these things clean. So we learned through baking. Now they have the nose stick and stuff, but that stuff, I don't like it. It's very hard to find things that I want to use. But that's why you grease. So if you want to leave that step out and you don't spray it or something, you'll find your pans. Now, the egg Parmesan recipe that I'm using that I've already made is literally a recipe that is not Italian really as much as it is more they took an Italian dish and they changed it for our palates, and this is how we make it here. But if you go to another country, I'm sure they know it by a different name, and it's done differently. So understand that. So we're going to put this on the side. Like everything else, let me get my cutting board and stuff, and we'll start working on the eggplant. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start cutting. And you can see, well, let me turn you down so you can see more. And see how pretty the eggplant should be on the inside? You shouldn't have any brown on it or anything. I have a casserole of eggplant, which goes excellent with fried chicken. And I'm thinking that I should try getting that going. Now, you can sit there and use a knife, because I want mine peeled. You have to peel it for this one dish. Yeah, you hear all the warping of my my cutting boards because they take a beating from me. They really, really do. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's see if I can get it straight. No, I can't. It's still going to wobble. But there are some recipes you have that literally call for the eggplant skin to stay on, especially if you go to stuff them. But I have a lot of different dishes made different ways. Like I have a potato and ham, but it's got tomatoes in it and cheese and stuff. So it's not the regular dish that when you hear we're going to have ham and potatoes. This is different, and I am going to make that. I've never had it that way. So have to realize that when people take shortcuts and you give a recipe out with your shortcuts and it doesn't come out, it causes people not to like the dishes. Yeah, because I just made creamed chicken over biscuits. My sons didn't like it. And I said, I know I'm going to have to fix it. It's a classic American dish, simple when a woman's in a hurry and the children are screaming and they want to eat. Believe me, you can whip it out in a hurry. Now, you're going to cut these about a 1/2 inch thick. They don't want them thin, they want them thick. See the seeds and how pretty it is? That's how it's supposed to look on the inside. If you cut these too thin, for the person who doesn't know about eggplant that well, they cook very, very fast and they get very, very soggy if you're not careful. This is why they recommend cutting them a little on the thick side. Yeah, it should fit. Now, this recipe says just to fry them like this in oil, but I like to egg and flour, or egg and breadcrumb mine. That's how I am going to do it. I just found a salad with eggplant, and I said, what? I had not heard of that, and I said, okay, I'm game. I'm going to try that in the summer. That's a summer dish. So eggplant can be eaten all year, if you can get it all year. Now I'm going to talk about fat. People who stay away from fat and don't eat it will find out that they will not be able to absorb vitamin A, D, E, or make vitamin K in their body. Now, vitamin K is a clotter, because our blood does have to clot. There are times, you know, if you're cut, it has to clot and to protect itself. And they're finding out that if you have a low cholesterol, you get Alzheimer's and dementia, which is a cause from it. So I don't go on those fat-free diets or anything else. No way. This girl ain't going. I know you could use a peeler, but I've been using a knife like this all my life with my eggplant, so I'm pretty accustomed to it. So remember, you need fat for your body. Your kidneys are protected by fat. You're warmed by fat. You have children, you definitely need to have that extra weight so they can nurse, so they can get all those antibiotics and everything your body has to protect them in life. Yeah. When I was growing up, the only thing that people were dying from was heart disease. All these new diseases and stuff are brand new. Now they found out if you have a tumor, they automatically assume it's cancer. Now, there are different kinds of tumors. You have fatty tumors and you have cancerous tumors. And in the cancer tumor, you have male and female. If it's a male, now our body, in order to protect us, they sit there and they will surround the chemicals. I'm going to call them chemicals, and they'll put it into a tumor, and our body is protecting us from what's in that tumor. Now, as long as that tumor stays sealed, you're all right when the walls break down. So if they go to do a biopsy, they're going to stick that tumor with a needle, which is going to open it up. And if it's a female, it's going to spread like crazy all over your body. If it's a male, it usually stays pretty stationary. So, just giving you some information that those tumors they find in you is, I'm going to call them chemicals. The body is surrounding it and trying to protect itself. You need 2 garlics. I think I put 3 in mine, only because I pulled 3 off at the time trying to pull 1. You know, I'm going to put 2 in because I just happen to like garlic. Put 1 more in. About 4. All right. Extra one came off. Okay. The recipe says 2 if you want the recipe. Okay, just letting you know. I'm going to put 4 in. So if you have a tumor, they don't need to take a biopsy. What they need to do is carefully take it out without rupturing it, and you'll probably do quite well. One man asked me to tell him the truth, so I told him the truth. He died. He decided that he didn't want to go through what the doctor put him through, and he passed away quietly at the hospital. But he asked me, because I said, "How you doing, man?" Just talking with him. "How you doing?" He says, "I have a tumor, and they won't tell me what it is." And he looked at me and he said, "I'd like an answer." I said, "You want the truth or you want me to lie to you?" I actually gave him the option. "Do you want me to tell you the truth or a lie?" He said, "Tell me the truth." And I told him that there were different ones. I said it could be a fat one just sitting there. That's all that it could be. But I said if it's the other one, if it's a male, you're fine. They can cut it out. It'll be no problem. But if it's a female, that's another thing. That will be a problem. That's why some people who have cancer, and then, do they want this missed? They just want it chopped. So be aware. They're putting chemicals, preservatives and stuff in our food. And you're buying these in. I know women are tired when they come home or they've had a long day. They don't want to cook. They want something quick. That's the worst thing you could do. So when you get enough of them in there, the body's storing it and storing it here and there, because if it gets into the body, if it doesn't get in the body, it'll sit in the colon. And this is why certain people have it in certain areas. It's body's way of trying to protect itself. And so people's got away from cooking with lard. I want to go back to cooking with lard. It makes some of the best apple pies you would ever have. You'd have to have somebody to make it with lard, and you would really be shocked at how good it is. Let me get this small one here. That plate's too big for what I want. That is too big for what I want. Well, I'll use it anyway. Put this aside. I'll put mine in the window right there. We're going to get an egg after I clean up the flour that I'm going to use. It's got breadcrumbs in it as well, so I don't care. I always tell you, I sit there and do this. I always do this. I have breadcrumbs in here and flour, so I'm going to sift it and see what I have that I can use. Oh, you didn't see me yesterday because I was at Bazaars for Christmas, and I got a nativity that I just love. It's an old-fashioned one. I'm going to have to add some flour in this. Yeah, I gotta get out in the yard and bury that. Okay, we need some flour in there. I don't mind having some breadcrumbs, but that's a bit too many. I'll add some whole wheat into this. You can use regular white flour. It doesn't matter. It's just that I'm partial to whole wheat and whole grains. My mother liked white flour a lot, but I like the whole grains. I hope this is enough. All right, so you're going to get 2 eggs and you're going to beat them and get a frying pan because we're going to have to fry these up real quick, and I will be back. Okay, we're going to beat these eggs. Remember, I told you to hold the fork like this and come down and up, and that way you beat air into your eggs quite nicely. Now we're going to take the eggplants. You're going to pour this over it, and you're going to toss them around. Try not to break them when you do it. You might not get egg all over all of them, but you get as much as you can on them. What the egg is going to do is just hold the flour to it a bit, because I just don't like frying them with nothing on them. That's just me. Now we're not adding any salt to this now. We will be adding salt much later in this dish before we put it in the oven to bake. So don't think that I'm making a mistake and I forget the salt or something. Okay, you can go first. It fell in. Now it's not going to be a lot of breadcrumbs on it, it's just going to be a little. Don't worry about it. Now, I experienced that somebody did not know what a spatula was, so I'm going to show you. I have a lot of them. I'll show you different ones that I have. Okay? For a lot of people who cook, but when I asked for a spatula, they did not know what I was talking about. I said, "Is this what you're talking about?" So I have to show you. These are a few of the spatulas I have, okay? I also have these as well. So I have a lot of different kinds of spatulas, okay? Just letting you know, I have a lot. They come in different shapes and sizes. I have some really large ones as well. I mean, they're huge. They're in the drawer. I'm not going to pull them out now, but they're really big where you could pick up a whole chicken and bring it up with the spatula. So that's what spatulas are, to give you a good idea. Now you can put some oil in a frying pan. Olive oil, preferably. Remember, eggplant cooks rather quickly. I'm trying to move stuff so I can get you over here. So please be patient with me. Because I'm going to need this, because I'm going to have to pack stuff into it. I'm going to have to tell you what I'm doing with that, because I'm not going to be able to show you. Okay, I got the oil getting hot. And I think they want me to pour tomato sauce on the bottom of this pan. Okay. This is going to be interesting how we're going to be doing this, okay? What we're going to do is we're heating this oil up to fry. But you know the garlic? Where did I put the garlic? Do you remember where I put my garlic? Oh, we're going to put this in the oil as we're frying these up. So I'm going to sit you way back here and pray I don't knock you over, which I'm always saying, please do not knock them over. And see, there's not much breadcrumbs on these. There'll be very little. I'm just trying to get the oil, enough oil, and get it hot. So don't expect the breadcrumbs to be all over the place on your eggplant. It's not. It's going to sort of look like this. Up close you can see it's not all over. So don't worry about it. Because remember, we tossed them in the egg. And that's it. It's not ready yet. So what we're doing is we're going to be putting the garlic into this oil, and then we're going to be frying these eggplants in it, and you'll have that garlicky flavor coming through. Somebody said that people don't want to watch an hour-long video. Hey, I've seen people sit at movies for 2-3 hours, so they can sit if they wish to. And you can't teach somebody in a 5-minute video. Now you're going to lay these at an angle into the pan. I have it back here. It's going to be very hard for you to see everything that I'm doing. I'm sorry about that. And these are not going to be fried all the way. Oh God, let's see if I can get it this way. Yeah, this is going to be a bit crowded. What you're going to do is lay them on like this, on each other as you go down. So that you're not going to be able to lay them all flat. Let's see, what do we turn the oven on? 350, set your oven. Make sure your rack is in the center, because if it's not, you could burn them or they're not going to cook at the right time. You're probably saying, she's moving quite quickly. Yes, I am. This is not working with the fork. eggplant can be made many different ways. We'll be definitely doing a casserole with eggplant, and I'll show you how that's done too. Oh God, that's hot. Yes, I got something hot on my finger. It really hurt. Well, this should fit. If this doesn't, I'll have to tilt it a little different. If you need more oil, add more oil, because eggplant does pick it up. Let me go ahead and put these down. I'm going to continue doing this and finishing these up like this and layering them, and I will be back. Okay, I got them fried, and you can see how I have them leveled in here. See how they're layered? I want to get this pan off the heat. Okay, let me see what I have to do next. I don't remember from one point to another, because I have so much going on in the kitchen. Oh, this is homemade tomato sauce that I made. We also have, I can't wait to make the casserole, which will be interesting too. I might make it before summer. I used 2 jars this last time. I didn't have enough. But they say 1.5 cups or more tomato sauce, which I did. Now we've got to grate almost a whole cup Parmigiana cheese. There's one. Piece. Okay, you go over there. Let me do here. Do what I have to do. So next time you see me making eggplant, I think I'm going to make the casserole with fried chicken. This is a simple Parmigiano, but you can smell the garlic because you put it in that oil. You fry them up in that oil. really comes out nice. But I'm making sandwiches today. I'm not going to sweat my fingers, so I'll eat it. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Alright, here's where you put your salt and pepper on it. This is all they want for eggplant parmesan. I think I made the casserole last time. I can't remember. But this is an excellent one to make sandwiches with. But remember, this is more of an American dish for our palate, and not like the other ones that you would get overseas. I don't know why. What would be the difference? This is pretty much how my mother made it, and she's Italian. I don't know why. Anyway, that's eggplant parmigiano, and we're going to put it in. Now you can sprinkle when it's done cooking, put parsley on top of this. I'm going to get it in the oven. Let it finish cooking. And they say about what, 30, 40 minutes? Yeah, no, about 25 minutes they say, when it's bubbly hot and everything. But that is a simple eggplant parmigiano. So take care, and I'll see you when it's done. Okay, I just took the eggplant parmigiano out. Here's one of them. Okay, now I think the dish that the 3 people wish to have is an eggplant casserole. I don't have everything to make that, but I should be making that next week. And that's a very unusual dish, but I want to serve it with chicken. I usually fry chicken when I serve it. Okay, but this has got to settle down because it's boiling hot, and I'm going to make sandwiches out of this. But anyway, here is eggplant parmigiano. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.